Some of the calmest men you will ever meet share a quiet secret. Their peace did not arrive when the right people stayed. It arrived after a disappointment they once thought would break them, and when other people's decisions stopped controlling their own. Today we're exploring 11 invisible strengths that slowly emerge when a man learns to walk alone. Strengths most people never notice, but that quietly change the way he moves through life. Most people spend years trying to hold water in their hands. The tighter they grip, the faster it slips away. And the moment he stops chasing control, something unexpected happens. Not the power to change every circumstance, the ability to remain steady through them. You stop needing constant reassurance. One of the first strengths solitude gives a man is this. He no longer needs constant reassurance. Someone disagrees with you, no problem. A plan changes. Never mind, you send a message. Hours pass, then a full day. Nothing arrives. And suddenly patience feels heavier than bad news. Epictetus once said, "Do not seek for things to happen as you wish, but wish for things to happen as they do happen, and your life will go smoothly." Most peace arrives the moment a man stops negotiating with reality. You stop taking everything personally. He stops assuming everything is about him. A friend seems distant. A conversation feels different than usual. Many people immediately fill in the blanks, and often the story hurts more than the event ever did. The coworker who seemed distant may have been sitting at his desk worrying about a sick mother at home. An angry customer may have just spent the last hour dealing with a car accident. Most silence has nothing to do with him, and the day he truly understands that, life becomes lighter. You develop self-trust. There is a difference between confidence and self-trust. One depends on outcomes, the other survives them. Confidence says, "I think I can handle this." Self-trust says, "I have handled difficult things before. I will find a way again." Most people look outside themselves when life becomes uncertain. They search for advice. I once stood in the kitchen at midnight staring at two envelopes. One was a stable job I no longer wanted. The other was a business that might fail. I picked up each envelope 3 times, then laughed at myself. The future was not hiding inside either envelope. It was hiding inside the man who would have to live with the choice. And sooner or later, every man faces decisions that nobody can make for him. That is where self-trust is built. A mistake survived, a setback overcome, a difficult season endured. One day a man stops asking, "What if I fail?" and starts asking, "If it happens, can I handle it?" That question changes everything, because the answer is no longer based on hope, it is based on evidence. You become harder to manipulate. The same tactics that once controlled him stop working, not because he becomes cold, because he becomes less needy. Many forms of manipulation depend on the same weakness: the fear of being rejected, the fear of being left behind. He no longer gives people the reaction they were counting on. Freedom begins the moment you stop handing others control over your inner world. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The man who needs applause can be led by anyone holding a microphone. The man who understands the difference becomes very difficult to control. You stop chasing every possibility. He becomes more selective, not because he wants less from life, because he finally understands that every yes costs something. Some deals increase your income, others decrease your self-respect. A man checked his calendar and realized something strange. Every evening for the next 6 weeks was booked. Meetings, projects, dinners, obligations. He had finally become the CEO of a life he no longer enjoyed. Everything looked successful on paper. Nothing felt meaningful in practice. Some of life's biggest regrets arrived disguised as opportunities. Not every open door is meant for you. Some doors are distractions, wearing expensive clothes. Eventually, a man realizes that a meaningful life is not built by accepting everything. It is the courage to say no without guilt. You stop competing with everyone. Not every race deserves your attention. Not every victory is worth the cost. Many people spend years comparing. Someone reaches a milestone before you, and suddenly your own progress feels smaller. Imagine handing a stranger the keys to your mood every morning. Comparison is a game with no finish line. The scoreboard changes every time you get close. But solitude changes the way you see things. You stop asking, "How am I doing compared to them?" and start asking, "Am I becoming the man I want to be?" That question creates a very different life, because the goal is no longer to win against others. The goal is to stop losing against yourself. One day you realize something painful. The people you spent years competing with were never your real opponents. They were just mirrors. The real loss happened every time you betrayed your own standards just to keep up. The person paying the price was you. You become comfortable with silence. One night, a man sat alone at his dining table without turning on the television. 10 minutes later, he found himself standing in front of the refrigerator, not because he was hungry, because the silence was bringing up things he had successfully avoided all day. And standing there solved nothing. The refrigerator had no answers and barely any food. But solitude teaches a different lesson. Not every empty space needs to be filled. Most people leave the room before the truth has a chance to speak. Over time, a man discovers something unexpected. Some of his best decisions never arrived at a meeting. They arrived at midnight or while humming to himself in the shower. Wisdom usually knocks once. Distraction rings the doorbell all day. Tonight, spend 10 minutes with no television, no phone, and no distraction. Notice how quickly the mind starts negotiating for an escape. At first, it feels like boredom. Then you realize the room was never the problem. You develop the ability to see what matters. You start noticing how much of your life was spent chasing things that could never truly satisfy you. A man spent 15 years building a business he thought would impress everyone. The day he finally succeeded, he celebrated alone in a hotel room. The applause lasted one evening. The sacrifices had lasted 15 years. Success had arrived. The peace he expected never did. That was when he began asking a different question. Money can return after a mistake. Time never does. And once he sees that clearly, it becomes much harder to waste himself on everything else. You develop stronger boundaries. One of the hardest lessons solitude teaches is this: you cannot make everyone happy. And the moment you stop trying, life becomes much simpler. For some men, saying no to a stranger is easy. Saying no to someone they love feels almost impossible. That is where the real test begins. Many people spend years carrying expectations that were never truly theirs. Be more agreeable. Be more available. Keep everyone satisfied. But there is a problem. No matter how much you give, someone will eventually be disappointed. Have you ever noticed this? You can help someone for years, then say no once because you're exhausted. And suddenly that one no matters more than 100 yeses. That is when many men discover an uncomfortable truth. Some people miss your sacrifice more than they miss you. If that truth resonates with you, take a moment to like this video. It helps these conversations reach more men who may need them. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." A mature man eventually chooses integrity over approval. He stops asking, "Will everyone like this?" and starts asking, "Is this the right thing to do?" That is the moment he stops living as a performer and starts living as an owner. Because maturity is not learning how to avoid disappointing people. It is learning how to disappoint people without betraying yourself. You find peace in ordinary days. Some men spend decades preparing for a future that never arrives. Meanwhile, life keeps moving without them. One day I was drinking coffee before work when my phone battery died. For a few minutes there was nothing to check. I looked out the window and realized something strange. This ordinary morning felt better than some victories I had once believed would change my life. The tragedy is not that life is short. The tragedy is how many ordinary days pass unnoticed while we wait for extraordinary ones. Many men live as if real life will begin later. A quiet morning, a meaningful conversation, an evening with nothing to fix, prove, or survive. Years ago, he would have called it an ordinary day. Now he recognizes it as a good one because he no longer mistakes stimulation for meaning. He learns to be present for the life he already has. And one day he realizes something surprising. The life he was waiting for had been happening the whole time. Looking back now, which of these strengths cost you the most years to learn? Let me know in the comments. The final strength. After all these changes, one remains underneath all the others. You become comfortable in your own company. Seneca once wrote, "To be everywhere is to be nowhere." The man who finally feels at home within himself no longer needs to search for himself in every place he goes. He spent years trying to avoid being alone with his own thoughts for too long. But the voice he tried to silence was often the one telling him the truth. He stops treating self-knowledge like bad news. Because he understands himself better, he spends less energy pretending to be someone else. When a man becomes at home with himself, he carries that stability everywhere. He already knows who he is. And that may be the change that makes all the others last. If one of these changes felt especially true in your life, like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe to Move or Die Stoic for more conversations like this. Most people think walking alone is about learning how to live without other people. It is not. It is about learning how to stop abandoning yourself, not becoming harder, becoming steadier, not controlling everything around you, learning how to govern what is within you. And perhaps that is why some men grow calmer with age. And little by little, they begin to carry their center with them wherever they go. That is the invisible power. Quiet strengths that no one can hand you and no one can take away from you. And before you leave, sit with this for a moment. When the room is quiet, when nobody is watching, when everything else is gone, are you still at home with yourself?